Rock
Dearly
exclusive.
beloved, we are here to celebrate the one they call Prince's life.
What's up, everybody? You already know that's Z Nuff Starr for a Trap House Rocks exclusive here today. Like he said, tribute to the one and only Prince. I'm Miss LB, MSLB, MGMT on the Twitter and everywhere else. I am Z Nuff Starr. You know, it's a sad day in the music industry. It's a sad week, rather. We have to pay tribute. You see, we have our purple on here today.
Yes, indeed. You're looking quite beautiful in purple, I might add.
I was thinking the same thing of you.
Say that.
Prince, you know, was so huge that everybody all over the world, not just this country, but in other countries, I mean, are celebrating his life, paying homage to him, you know, with the purple. I mean, that's his thing. That's purple is Prince. And we do have a couple pictures that I'd like to show you in a minute. Like I said, all over the country, big buildings are changing their colors outside to purple, as you can see right there. The pictures right there. I mean, it's not just one, but they're everywhere. You know, he was such a big icon in music that, I mean, you know, Znuff, even the weatherman, okay? Even the weatherman changed the little colors on the map to purple. It's that big. President Obama paid homage to Prince and Michelle Obama. Let's get into it about Prince. You know, Prince not only was an icon, but he also brought to us, I mean, he introduced us to like Vanity, Apollonia, Morris Day, Jerome, which was, you know, Morris's
sidekick.
and then at the time, Sheila E., Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, I mean, Alexander O'Neal, all these people, sorry about that, all these people were introduced to us by Prince. I mean, you know, it's crazy.
I mean, the multiple records he produced, but like you said, you named some people who we would consider to be like iconic, like he brought forth. So that shows a lot about his character, what the motion was about. You know what I mean? Good music and good vibes. He was carrying on tradition. To me, I feel like, man, Prince, you know.
He broke a lot of barriers, you know. He didn't care what he, I mean, and I told somebody earlier, like, the way he dressed, the kids now who don't really know about Prince, you know what I'm saying, this young generation, they know a couple of the songs, the main songs, but they look at him like, yeah, I've never heard him and he looks gay. Not one time did anybody call him gay. You know what I mean? Over all these years. And they're like, I'm like,
and let's add that, you know, if they would have really done the research, you would have known he's been with some of the most amazing women that God has created on this earth, like serious, you know what I'm saying? So
he's been with more women than you'll ever see in a lifetime. You know, but I just thought it was really special that all the landmarks across the country are paying homage to him. The news media has been, I've really liked how it's been with him. Normally when you see a death and somebody big, they try to twist the shit around. They try to make it crazy, and it's been nothing but love on every channel, every outlet that you see online. Even, you know, Pornhub changed the P on their website to his symbol.
Oh, that's lit.
Go on Pornhub.com. It's his symbol for the P.
That's crazy.
Right now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I would, to add on to that, is like when you thought of Prince, you thought of sexuality. I think Prince, being who he was, made you know, people look at a man and say, oh, that man is sexy, because before times like that, men weren't supposed to be looked at in that kind of light or even vocalized, you know what I mean, in that light. But the bruh, he came show business, you know what I'm saying? And sex appeal was something he oozed from the rip, from the very first album cover or single. It was shirt off, hair down. It wasn't like, you know, I don't care what you think, this is what I'm doing.
You know, with that being said, when I was young, and this is going to tell y'all a lot about my age, but 15, 16 years old, and Prince was in his prime time, okay? And we were buying the albums. And when we listened to these albums, you know, we were thinking about what he was saying. Like, we were wondering about sex and thinking about, these things, or maybe had a crush on a guy, and then you hear these songs, like, and it's like, oh my God, I mean, it was, crazy. And I think that's why I love him so much. I mean, I was crying when I heard the news, like, not bawling. I wasn't bawling, but I was like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? Because he did make such an impact on those younger years. And then if you were really a fan of his, you went and followed him to the next album and the next album and the next, and it was every one of them was equally as good as the first, in my opinion, because I was a big fan. I did get to see him in person one time. I was 15 or 16, I'm not sure. I think I was 15, but my parents drove me and another girl back then to the concert, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they sat outside. This is how much he meant to me. They sat outside 6 hours while I was inside the concert.
Yeah. Listening to you, like, and people don't understand how close me and Miss LB are. Like, we had this conversation right when he passed, you know what I'm saying? And thinking about it, like, people don't understand what kind of impact to see those kind of celebrities at those times. Like,
it was a big thing to get to see a celebrity. Nowadays, I'm with them all the time. It doesn't affect me that way. Back then, even the music back then, you could feel it right here. And it was a whole nother feeling.
Facts. We saying when you was telling me the story, it was like, for this generation of musicians or artists to not know it as deep as we know it, you know what I'm saying? And I say we because our friends are, let's say, from early 20s to 50 in hip hop, 55, the people and the guys. So the older guys that are in hip hop are kind of younger brothers. Prince was 58. You know what I'm saying? So think about the icons we consider icons, the Red Alerts, and some of these brothers are like the same age or younger than artists like Prince and Michael Jackson, and like, for us to be able to have all these different stories, but some of them somewhat the same, like Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, those people were like just a different, it was like the last era of
there's no word for it.
Big things, those big things. Like, it's like the other day I was trying to say, like, losing Prince, it broke my heart because people don't know. I never got to tell what we'll probably talk about today, but like, who do these younger artists look at like that in that light right now? And I could say off the top of my mind,
Gucci. I'm just kidding.
I feel you, but I would say, like, as far as the younger and the youth, because Beyonce and those guys, like, we're like the same age, but like Beyonce, Usher, and those are the only people that I'm looking forward to maybe being in their 50s and we still respecting what they're doing, like, musically on that page. So I'm hoping that us losing these icons will awaken some of these other artists to be a little bit, more, defined. You know what I'm saying? For a better word to put it, because Prince was a definition. You know what I'm saying? He defined what artistry was. He defined what an artist's responsibility should be if you're at a certain level. He could have, billions, millions of, people and millions of dollars made. These artists could just live their own lives, but for them to stand and give principle and definition, for us as a fan, for him to continue to write those same inspirational records that we talking about, 20 years ago.
Now, at that concert I went to, we were in the nosebleed section of the brand new, back then, Charlotte Coliseum. It used to be old. They made a brand new one. We were in the nosebleed section, Z, and
let's go.
We couldn't hardly see. Like, damn, Prince is short anyway. We looking down like, damn, where's he at? But this man, before it started, came over there, him and his film crew, and he was like, it was the nosebleed section so bad that there wasn't hardly anybody sitting around us. And he said, is there any way you could just take these passes and move down there to the front? Because we need this area to film. We were like, no problem.
Facts.
So we got to move all the way to the front. Back then, it was a lot of security. You couldn't get to the front back then,
Facts.
like you see people today. So it was really an experience to be able to be front row there. Just, I mean, it was amazing. And then he, the girl was up in the swinging, and he went up to her and had his head between her legs, like he was eating her pussy. That was the biggest thing to me. I was like, what? It was the best concert I've ever been to. There was one more that was equally as good as that one on a whole nother genre, though. So that was Pink Floyd. So those two concerts in my life, along with 1,000 hip-hop concerts back then, rock him to everybody, but just seeing Prince was amazing. There's nothing like it.
Facts. I remember, I don't have a lot of different, let's say, outings with my father, because my mom and my pop separated at a very young age. But I remember my dad taking me to go see Purple Rain with my mom, and being like 4 years old or something. But I remember playing Prince for Halloween. That Halloween,
playing like he was him.
Facts,
he was a Mac.
I remember being to whoever whatever I seen on that screen was like, it stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I am a tremendous Prince fan to the maximum. Even when people didn't understand, I got it. You know what I'm saying? From the rip. And I really feel a lot of that kind of influence is, a part of the reason why I am the way I am. The way I always push the envelope. I always dressed apart from a very young age because I knew it separated me from, you know what I'm saying? But like, he definitely impacted me in that way, you know what I mean? And also in the not being afraid, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I say that, meaning, what's a better way to put it? Like, as a musician or a rapper or this or that, you get categorized. So at a very young age, I never, people used to say, what do you do? Like, I couldn't say, oh, I rap, I just that and the third, because I was an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? And I learned how to be an entertainer from Prince, Nelson, Michael Jackson, Madonna, the Pink Floyds, the big bands of the 70s and 60s, in which, these artists that came of age after, those are the people they studied.
And you spoke on, Purple Rain, the movie. I mean, we've said this again and again and again.
Facts.
Movies don't hit us like that, like they hit back then. When that Purple Rain hit, everybody watched it multiple times.
It was a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? It was a phenomenon. Think about even how it transpired with him in his hometown, that whole movement. Like, it's kind of, it gets back to what we're doing and what we've been doing for the trap, in a sense. Like, in Minneapolis, it wasn't a huge following. They weren't from New York. They weren't from LA. But they had their town so on fire, you know what I'm saying? These bands, and took that visual once he got a deal and all that situation with this movie. Like, do you know what kind of people have those kind of opportunities? You know what I'm saying? And when you think about that, him with the singles a little bit prior, let's say getting sneak peeks of the record industry with the records from the late 70s that begin to peak. By that point, you've already built enough trust in labels and musicians and producers to say, yo, I think we need to go see, what's going on with him. You know what I mean? Because it was that phenomenal. You get signed and they shoot a movie about you. You know what I mean? Purple Rain, the movie, pushed Purple Rain, the album. You understand?
And he got multiple awards. One of the ones, that he got for that movie, I think, was like the NAACP gave him a Outstanding Actor Award. That's big, for it being Purple Rain. And, that movie, there's nothing like seeing Apollonia take her shirt off and jump in that lake. Right, Z?
Facts.
I mean, it was like, there's nothing like, seeing Morris Day and the time. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I mean, the whole thing is iconic to me. We do have a clip. We were talking about people across the country mourning his death, him, and out in Brooklyn. I know you told me about this. Out in Brooklyn, Spike Lee had a big, what do you call it?
Like a celebration, I guess.
Yeah, because, I mean, it was You can see the clip right here. Let's watch that.
Let's give it up for Prince.
Incredible support right there and love from everybody out in Brooklyn and around those areas. It was like that everywhere. You know, of course, in his hometown, they had a big celebration, but I wish, like you said earlier, that Spike Lee would have put the word out a little better about that he was having that, because it could have potentially been a million people out there.
And I mean, I'm guessing that's probably the reason why they didn't go viral. And it's like kind of like, oh, it's a neighborhood thing. Brooklyn's my neighborhood. Let me do it in Brooklyn. Let Brooklyn come out. And, you know, so after me and you had discussed it, I was like, wow, I get it, though, because maybe it would have been, you know, it could have been so ridiculous that it would have went from being celebratory to, you know, something different.
And a riot and everything.
You know? So
that's how big he was. Yeah. Let's talk about some of his awards. There's so many, you know what I'm saying, that he's had, but let's name a few for the people. Let's see. Billboard Icon Award in 2013. Grammy Hall of Fame 1998 and 2008. Wow. Golden Globe Award in 2007. Grammy in 1985 for I Feel For You. Wow. Purple Rain, you know. BET Lifetime Achievement Award in 2010. Mm-hmm. Of course, he got an Oscar, you know, for the movie. Another Grammy again in 1987 for Kiss. I mean, he has multiple Grammys, multiple awards everywhere along the board, and not to mention him playing 17 instruments or more, possibly. He wasn't insanity. He wasn't just a singer, writer. Facts. I mean, he's a musician, 100%.
What I would say too, to add on to what you're saying, like, dude, I know Prince fans probably know this, but to the world, like, dude could have been one of the most prolific actors. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you see his performance in? Look at the performance in Purple Rain. Look at the performance in Under the Cherry Moon.
That in a minute. You know, let's watch him. Let's just watch him performing the song recently. Even him performing the song recently is just. And if you saw the movie, I think these younger people, if they have never watched it, their parents and them, you know, they need to watch this.
Facts.
See, my little one. Word. What you all upset about Prince for? And I was like, well, since you won't be you don't know, you gonna have Prince lessons today.
Facts.
Let's watch the clip of him right quick performing Purple Rain recently. Let's watch that right now.
I never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain. I only wanted one time to see you laughing, babe. Only wanna see you laughing, yeah. In the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. That's alright. Come on, y'all. Purple rain, purple rain. Oh yes. Don't it feel good? Only wanna see you. Can I play this guitar?
You see, when he does a live performance, the whole crowd is singing with him. They know every word to the songs.
Facts.
It's always packed. I know I watched a clip the other day of him doing the halftime Super Bowl a few years back, maybe 2007, maybe, I'm not sure about that. But it started pouring rain and he just kept on. And it's like crazy. It's got to be a good feeling, to know that everybody out there knows the words when they come to your concert. Because, we don't get that a lot with artists. They might know the hook to your songs, what I'm saying, but they don't know your words because they're not listening to you like that because they're stuck on your hook and what you're saying. I'm talking purely about hip hop these days. If they can remember your lyrics, then you said something. Like there's artists out there like Shabam. Like I remember those lyrics and I repeat them to you. Like I'm gonna use those in life. I'm gonna use them on the web. Different rappers I do the same thing to because it's so real.
And those are different times. I feel like the messages in the music were different. People, artists like Prince, put the I want to say the people before themselves. Even when it comes to the music, it may be a personal issue, but they write songs about issues that affects multiple people. That's the reason why, like, you want to think about a Mary J. Blige. I'm thinking about the people who came after, like these people who are considered iconic. Listen to the music they made. The music was of the people and of the times. You know what I'm saying? What was going on? Even if you go back to like, the Beatles and Michael Jackson at the top, you could have been at the top of the chart doing, all kind of numbers, and you make records like Heal the World. You know what I mean? Prince with the Purple Rain, every song adorned, all these songs, Diamonds and Pearls, they were like uplifting songs, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful love songs that could have been played in any, from a wedding to a funeral. You know what I mean?
While you're talking about that, let's let the people that are out there watching us know you have to choose one, Z.
All right.
Your favorite. I'm going to go first because I have mine. It's always been my favorite, and it was because it was me and this guy's song. And I thought I was in love, but guess what? I wasn't. He's a crackhead today. Just put the word out. Feel me? But I thought I was back then.
Things happen. Yeah.
And that song was Adore. I mean, it was the one. Number 2 for me would be The Beautiful Ones.
Say that.
Z Nuff Starr, let's hear your favorite Prince song. Number 1 and number 2. It has to be 1 and 2.
Number 1 would be the Ballad of Dorothy Parker. That's my joint. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite songs. When I was 14, I did a remix to that record that was incredible to this day. You know what I mean? I still hear it, and and the other joint would be Take It Slow. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Take It Slow and those 2 records, but Take It Slow, and I would say the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, my number 1 and 2.
I think Adore is my favorite one because he killed the vocals on that, killed singing it. It was retarded at singing on that.
To the maximum. His range was impeccable. He was, there's another singer who I feel like out here who I feel like he is of like a Prince of this age, but just a little different. I would say like Bilal, man. Like he really is a serious vocalist. Like Prince, he's really a serious musician. He's really an artist. If you listen to the music, it's highly influenced by Prince. You know what I'm saying? To me, he is the closest thing too. People try to mimic the sexy, you know what I'm saying? But, or, the high tones, but to me, there can never be because there's so much other emotions that go into what Prince did for, someone else to kind of mimic and do what it was that he did.
And now I've noticed that in the media now, because Future has that Purple Rain, REIGN.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, this is the real Purple Rain.
And it's like he probably would have done that without this happening, or probably was already in motion.
Because
you know, but
It made it a little easier to do it. That
Facts.
Purple Rain is so huge because he would have probably said purple something else, probably. But he loves his purple, but drank or whatever. But I was like, speaking of drinks, okay. There's a drink. Let me pull that up. Let Cyber pull that up for you. If you look right here, you can see a recipe for a Purple Rain drink. Okay, this drink does have vodka in it, so this is alcoholic. I believe you could probably make it non-alcoholic if you wanted to. But if you want to make this drink, pause your video, go get your ingredients, and whip up this Purple Rain drink for the people. Looks good to me. There's no lean in it, but it is purple. So
I would rather not have no, but definitely gonna make it.
Yeah, you see it right there. So make sure you go make you a Purple Rain drink.
Wow.
Don't be, acting crazy though, because it looks like it's pretty strong. Pretty strong. Another thing that I saw, as far as fans and as far as bullshit goes, I saw a girl in a picture with her tears flowing. Okay, and it was on my Facebook page. And underneath it said, click the link to support the GoFundMe page for her to be able to attend Prince's funeral.
I mean, she
Bitch,
got
sit down.
Yeah. You can't blame her for trying.
She already raised $400.
I mean, if she used it for
She's
the
trying
cause,
to get $3,000.
say that. So her trip cost $3,000 probably.
Do you think that if I would have made me one, people would have thought I was insane, or what? They'd have probably gave me the money?
I mean, you know what's so crazy though, right?
Will she really go though?
Word.
Can she get in? Can she even get in? Come on now. You're taking money from people you don't even know if you can get in or not. You don't know how that funeral is going to be.
I'm pretty sure what they are gonna do is they probably definitely drive around. You know what I'm saying?
You think they'll drive? You think they'll drive to where the funeral's at?
They'll probably drive him around, let the people see him.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Saying?
But I mean that girl. Do you think she'll try to get in? Probably can't.
She can go out there in the trip. I'm pretty sure Minneapolis will be, because there's gonna be millions of fans. People are already booking their flights to, try to be even where
it's at.
So I'm pretty sure the best thing to do is just
they'll probably ride them through.
But I mean, James Brown, they left James Brown out for like 7 days for the people to view him, man, and go through there. So, we unfortunately weren't able to participate because, who knows where life had us at that moment. But I would have loved to be able.
I cried when every time they show in the movie or the footage of Biggie's mama and then bringing him through Brooklyn, like, oh my God. So they'll probably will drive Prince, like you said, through or have some type of, they're going to have to have something for the fans there in, wherever it's going to be, because they'll start a riot out that bitch.
Man, my question, do any Prince fans have this? You know what I'm saying?
Read us the title in case they can't see closely.
The title is Prince, and then / Randy Street, Randy St. Nicholas, RANDEE St. Nicholas. 21 Nights. This is a book of photography, poetry, music, and lyrics.
Okay.
From Prince. This joint came out about, if you've been to any studio that I've had in the last, let's say, 3 to 4 years, this joint used to be, when you walk in the door, you know how the Apollo has the joint on the mantle and you kind of rub it. I every day I used to change a different page in this book because, I adored Prince. I thought the dude was very, very important. But this book, if you're a fan, it explains so many, other things about him as far as how he looked at things, how he planned and make this whole book 21 Nights. It's a visual and an audio, with little essays and things like that. So it's a good piece of
can they get that still online? Can you purchase that or?
I'm pretty sure you could. It also came with a 30 Nights live session CD inside.
How much would you sell that for right now?
I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Just because I haven't seen it anywhere.
$1 million bucks? No, I'm just kidding.
No. I wouldn't because but I will try to get my hands on another one to
It's
do
okay,
so.
Z. My Wu-Tang manual is like right up on the shelf, so
Facts,
it's okay. I'm serious.
But I could imagine what the price of this thing probably will go up to, just because it wasn't like advertised, it wasn't promoted. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of those things, man. I was out.
Which album? This is crazy of me. I should know the answer to this. What was the album called where he was on the front cover? We actually have a picture of that. You can see right now. The picture where he's naked on the front. That's like the. Which one was that? Oh man! But I told you a couple weeks ago. I sent to your phone some pictures, and I was like, "Yo, I just found a whole bunch." I was moving, and I was like, "I found a whole bunch of albums. I should send them to you." And that was one of them.
But it's like, it's like sometimes even when you think back to shit like that, that was a reminder to you, like, you know, that was another intimate moment, because it'll be in the air. You understand what I'm saying? In a sense, it'll be in the air. You came across that. You know what I mean? A couple other people have told me other things like that. I just was thinking about this. There's an artist named Brazio right now in Jersey. Super, you know. 3 weeks ago, I started producing this record for him called Let's Go Brazy. You know what I mean? Real trap, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I felt like he had all these street records I wanted to cross-promote and add what it is that I do, you know, to his joint. And I was like, yo, these are the way that kids or the next generation can get a kind of a glimpse of what it was that we got. You know what I mean? Prince, another fact, Prince didn't allow clearance for his records to be sampled by people, rappers.
And he don't allow them to be online either.
Facts.
If you go today, you might catch a few YouTube clips that they missed, but you can't go download his music anywhere. That's where he did, I mean, I see both sides to that. But he's about him and just a couple more. And
that was kind of his thing, like, oh, you slaved me once. I'm not gonna allow you to, you know, not saying
sell me again,
artists, but you know, the other powers that be, or the, you know what I'm saying, he felt as an artist like, no, you're not. It's
not your property to go streaming.
Facts. You know?
Like it's mine.
Facts. So it's like we have to apply some of those great things as well. I'm not mad at him, but it was like now
we gotta search you and we can't find you.
Some people, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is now though,
you know.
Yeah, the artists now that he's passed, like people now, the industry is different now. So let's say these artists on major labels that may have had Prince samples, case in point, Tupac with Pop Life. His first initial, you know, they used the Prince Pop Life to do Pac's life. You never could catch that in the store. You would catch it on a bootleg, you know what I'm saying, from Tupac, just because Prince wouldn't press the button like, yo, you know, that's not what we're doing. He was such an enlightening person as well, like as far as his influences, as far as his beliefs. So it's like, I'm not gonna let you sample music that I created for one light to get it and say something negative on it that I don't want on it. Like that was kind of his concept, you know what I mean? So it's like, those are some of the things I want to keep with myself growing, you know, into the years that we want to be able to have those careers 30, 40 years, because what we do is very important. You know what I'm saying? We're very important.
I want to play a short clip. It's the last clip I have today. I want to play a short clip in a minute of a legend himself, okay, Stevie Wonder. I want to play this because of how deep it is, okay? And you guys watch this clip, and when you see him break down, it's just insane. It's him remembering Prince, and then we're going to talk about something that Z Nuff told me about for the first time the other day. So let's watch that clip right now.
You know, it's rare for me that I can feel, you know, with every single breath, how he just passionately loved music. It's like when musicians can jam, there's nothing like it in the whole world. I guess it's like when, you know, ball players are playing and they are excited about the game. Well, this is the same thing with us as musicians, to be able to say, okay, you can do that. Let me watch me do this, and they can do that. I'll do that. It's just a lot of fun, and he was incredible with that.
Is there? I don't want to put you on the spot. Is there any song you want to sing a little of or play a little of, or again, I don't want to put you on the spot if you're not up for it.
Yeah, I think I would probably break down
Okay.
if I do a song right now. But you know, he was incredible, and I'm just glad that I was able to say to him, "I love you," the last time I saw him.
To see a legend like him break down like that, where he can barely even talk, I mean, it's crazy. Now, you pointed out to me, Z, and had me go look something up that I had never saw before. Tell us what you had me go look up and why it's so important. Tell them how it went down with James Brown.
Well, you know, I have to first and foremost, I have to big up the person who gave this to me. And when I say the importance of those who were before us in music, passing it to those people who, you know, they see on the come up of doing the same. DJ Supreme is a Seattle breaker from, you know, the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary. You know, he's also go by the name of Poppy Panama, Conception Records. You know, crazy, you know, other things that he's done. But let's say about 299, let's say. My first trip to Seattle, I stayed with them, and he would break out these vintage everything, video footages. This is prior to like the internet being, you know, I'm talking about VHS tapes and
Reel to reels.
facts. Like, you know, shout out Supreme. Supreme is like a collector, and he identified with me being the same, and he broke out this footage. He said, "Sit down and watch. I'm gonna show you something amazing." And I'm watching the footage, and I see James Brown and Michael Jackson, and JB is going so crazy, busting his moves, and then Mike starts, and then Jay does, and then Mike starts. And you see Michael, he's like pointing out in the crowd or whatever. He whispered to James, like, "Yeah,
You're right.
bring Prince up." You know what I'm saying? Like, you see James Brown, like
You see James Brown, and then you see Michael Jackson, but you don't know what he's saying.
Right.
But then all of a sudden,
he's telling him, "I want to bring Prince. We gotta bring Prince up." Now, mind you, Michael Jackson watched James Brown, you know, 4 or 5 years old, and emulated what it was that James Brown did, to the point where all these adults said he's incredible, and you know that made Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. It put him on the level of the people that he looked up to. Right. So think about this. Like I'm saying, when I was building with LB, Mike had to put James Brown onto who Prince was. That speaks like enormous. First of all, that he had to put JB on, but second, that Mike, what better cosign to it? He said, "I don't want to bask in this moment with you, James Brown," without saying, "Hey, let's bring Prince up here right now because this guy's incredible and I need the world to see this." You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what it was. And you'll see that once we press play. But you see him say to James Brown, "Hey, can we bring Prince up?" And James Brown is like,
now, Z, we actually couldn't get the actual clip of that. But the people, if you just Google this, the three names together, you will see this on YouTube, the whole video. And when you see it, and when you see Prince walk out, he takes the guitar from one of the band members, and he just starts killing. It was amazing.
And not to mention, he came in from the crowd on his bodyguard's back.
Yes, he was riding him piggyback, and when I looked at it, I was like, "Z, he's on his back." He was like, "Yeah, that's his bodyguard." Like, that's how he got through the crowd.
To the max.
This big dude, like 7 foot tall, and he's on his back.
Because he's what?
5'2".
You know, so that explains it. So when you see the video, it's not like, "Oh, well, he's on some." No,
he jumped
was
off and did his
5'2".
thing.
He said, "Bring me. I'm not gonna walk through the crowd. Put me up high so they can see me walk through." Then he gets on stage, mutilates the guitar, does the James Brown spin, and throws his mic down and shows the world like, "Yo, you have no idea what I'm coming to do." You understand? So it's like things like that. One more thing, because I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but who's familiar with What's Happening?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And all right, did you know that, you know, Dwayne Wayne is his half brother, like straight?
Who's half brother?
That's him and Prince. They're brothers. You understand? They're brothers. What's his last name is Nelson. You know what I'm saying? You understand that? You understand that? Look at the similarities to the look, even.
Wow.
But that's his brother. You understand? So that's another fact. If people didn't know, go research that. You understand? And understand this. He didn't use his brother's fame because what's happening was popping way before Prince became anything. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you too. Sometimes we castrate people and say, "Oh well, how come you're not famous if you do X, Y, Z and your brother does this?" And sometimes people
I
you
did
gotta
read
work.
today that he had one sister, like real sister, with both parents, the same, and she's actually, they said, the only living relative, and that she could probably inherit all his hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's a wonderful thing.
If he doesn't have a will, but knowing Prince,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if that'll come out or whatever. I'd like to know if he had a will, because he did a lot and invested a lot of money in charity. But Mike told me this earlier. He also told the people he was giving money to, I'll give you these millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you better not tell anybody where you got it from. I don't want the glory. You feel me? Like, I'll support your foundation or your cause, but you're not going to tell anybody I gave it to you.
Facts.
And that was just the way he was.
Word. I just think dude was an awesome guy.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm extremely hurt. I know how you feel. It's still like kind of hard for me to process.
I get teary-eyed every time it comes on the news. Now, I'm not teary-eyed right now because, I do this all the time. But I thought about him like all day.
Facts.
On my phone trying to find songs and play them. Like, wow.
Word up, man.
It's
Even
a tragic loss. He was so young.
Yeah. And being like, dude was like, that's my parents' age. He's older than my mom, but at the same time, it's like you had so much more living to live. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he just needed the rest for a little bit. It was crazy because my mom, I got to go chop it up with my mom briefly, and she was saying, like, you remember when I had got, a flu, and they were saying like it was like pneumonia type symptoms. She's like, it took me like 15 days to like recuperate. And like, I think he really didn't give himself time to, there are other views that I have, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're not going to discuss that while we're celebrating, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like maybe he should have just rested a little while, because what we do have to realize that as older we get, you got to change up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, he's always been in shape and been healthy, but something like that, you got to be willing to sit down for a minute and heal up. You know what I mean? Sometimes, it's better to rest.
He not only did all this amazing work in film and music, but he wrote for other people. You got to know that some of those big hits like Sinead O'Connor had and Cyndi Lauper and whoever else came from Prince. So
I show my chest hairs because of Prince. You know what I'm saying?
You want
to
open it just a little for
But I do things like this because of Prince, man. Prince would have had his rag on his joint.
That's right.
That's some James Brown shit, because back in the day they had to slick their shit down, and that's what it was. So I feel like he was an extension of like the 60s and 70s. It was show business. Like entertainers had outfits and they had wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have stylists, they had wardrobe. If someone helped them with their clothes, it was a stylist would take what it was that the artist, you know what I'm saying?
But you have wardrobe.
Facts. And hey, we're gonna get you more clothes that are the clothes that you look, or a stylist would be there to get the clothes in order that you already do. Like the Princes and Madonnas, we weren't told that they had a stylist. They were like setting the trends. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The Michael Jacksons, they were setting the trends. You couldn't style Michael Jackson if he already had the glitter glove, and all you could do is make sure that he has 50 pair of high waters right here, 12 white shirts. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that element of those artists set the trend. You couldn't style them. You couldn't do this, that, and the third, or you didn't know about it, because they were the ones, they had to keep, you had to keep at it. You had to keep at it. You know what I'm saying? Like them knowing the responsibility that they have. Who knows if Michael Jackson Ben wanted to change, the look, or I want to wear Michael Jordans. Why am I wearing he had to wear those loafers because it was his signature. You know what I'm saying? You can look at Prince, and I'm saying this conversation this way because of the youth. You will, you know, I don't want you to get confused as to what is going on now and thinking that, you know, Prince was promoting like a metrosexual type of thing, because that wasn't. Those ruffle shirts and things, those things were from the 1800s and those kind of times, when, you know, opera houses and all that. But other people did it before. You know what I'm saying? The rock and roll, Jimi Hendrix, understand this. So I'm gonna give you more game. When I think about Prince and what Prince did as far as fashion and music, he was an extension to us of what Jimi Hendrix left off being. You know what I'm saying? So those shirts and the satin shirts and the sexy sex appeal and the opening shirt and wailing on the guitar, that was an extension of what Jimmy had done. So it was like, I say, carrying on tradition. He took from Miles Davis, say, you cannot be, every great artist has stolen from someone else great, meaning you've took to add on to your building and your creativity as you learn how to create.
I think if you do something like that, that's honoring them.
Facts. So,
it's not,
you know,
stealing to me. Facts. There is some stealing going on out there, but not that way.
He worded in such a way, like lamest terms, for someone to understand. It would be like, yo, everybody takes from something great when you're learning, so you denying that would be a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can openly say to you and all my, you know, greatness and splendor and people thinking I'm a super incredible artist, I can tell you a lot of that in which I've studied from him and being a fan of helped create and mold who I am. So the same, I know what it looks like. I know that he got that from Jimmy, and he took this from James Brown, and he took this sound from this, and he fused them to make his own. And that's what all great artists do. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the other people now who are an extension of what Prince did. So it's a continuum that never stops. We just have to learn how to embrace it and deal with it in a different manner. But with me saying that was, I don't want the kids to look at him doing what he was doing. Like, Jimmy used to, you know, set the guitar on fire. This stand the third. All right, well, Prince would go make love and do the same thing to the guitar against the amp, those same little things. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't just put on some crazy outfit like Trinidad James, how you be looking. I mean, I'm just saying, and have a lifetime of respect. I mean, or gain fans or anything else.
And crazy.
The case, the clothes they're wearing, we'd have a lot of fucking icons.
Facts. And I think we have to embrace it a little different. Those artists, they didn't care about the labels and as far as fashion labels and things, what was popping to them. Like, we didn't know if Prince had on motherfucking Calvin Klein slacks or Jordache. We didn't know. You know what I'm saying? All you know is he looks amazing. You feel what I'm saying? We still to this day do not know if Michael Jackson suits were all, you know, we don't know. We don't know if they were from Sears or whatever. Nope, it wasn't displayed. Michael Jackson was a big artist. Prince was a great, huge artist, but these artists didn't even say, hey, I'm going to make, you know, Prince jackets and put my name on it because I could sell 1 million of them. Their vision and missions were different. You know what I'm saying? But the clothing lines took those ideas from those artists, and then they create the clothes so that they can have the clothes to sell that looks like the artist that you want to, you know, be like, you know. Those high heel shoes, those were things, because think about this, the dude is 5'2". Almost every woman on this planet that he could possibly run into, he was small in stature. So think about why Prince wore high heels. Don't just say, oh, he wore high heel shoes. What was that about? You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to fill in the blanks for this generation of people that have a small mind of, you know, and lack of understanding. Like, dude wore high heels. Those artists before him wore platform shoes and boots.
Right. You
understand? So it's like, even making them transitions, his joints didn't look like Jimmy Choo shoes for a girl. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different, it's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? Real rap. But do the research. Dwayne Wayne was Prince's half brother. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was the same father or same mother, the last name is Nelson. You know what I mean? Like, real rap.
We are remembering Prince today on this show. Trap House Rock Show. You know, we have various shows out there. And of course, we want you to subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the Indie Republic YouTube channel. You see what I deal with? Scoot back over there and do that again for the people. I am Z Nuff Starr. Show that chest hair. Like, remember Prince today. See, just when I'm ready to wrap up a show, he starts something like this. Is that your Prince dance? Get on the mic and tell me.
When I was a little kid, I got my ass beat doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen Purple Rain. I came home. My father was like, nigga, don't you ever do that shit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I was like, don't you do that shit, nigga. You don't do that shit. I was like, nah, man, I'm doing Prince. He was like, oh, I forgot all about that shit, but I was finna get my ass cracked. I was like, what the fuck you doing, nigga? Nigga come in the room, I'm humping the floor and shit. Doing the Prince shit because
oh wow,
that nigga lit. You feel me? I wanted to do that. I wanted to be in the joint. If you look at that footage, man, what they was doing, that motion, to have a club full of people nodding on one accord the whole song, like, you understand what was going on, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be influential as an artist. Not saying that it's like weird to who. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot like it or dislike it. Billions of people have been influenced by it and loved it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the things that we adore. Straight. And they will always stay with me. My kids, age 10, age 7, age 4 years old, grew up watching Purple Rain, Crush Groove, B Street, Breaking 1 and 2. Like, my daughter went to, you know, the Christmas in Brooklyn concert last year and cried because she didn't realize that JMJ was dead. You understand what I'm saying? She was turning 10 years old at the, 9, 10 years old. So those kind of things, man, the culture, they are influenced by the things, whatever it was that I watched coming up, I made sure it was accessible to them. I made sure I had the DVDs, the VHS tapes for themselves. But it's like a young father, you babysitting, you with your kid. It's like, oh, let me show you. Let's have the experience that I had. You know what I'm saying? And then they loved it for themselves to want to watch it over and over again. Under the Cherry Moon, like, when I say I think Prince was he's one of the most incredible actors that never acted. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like, I didn't need your movie. I wrote my own. Graffiti Bridge was amazing. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, let's think about the things that he could have done with his time and money. He could have said, I'm just going to focus on, movies and directing. And he stayed in his zone. He stayed locked. The powers that be could have driven people to do so many other things, but the icons like Prince and Mike, when I say the undying things that they've done to service the people, you know what I'm saying, and the fans, and really be for the people, like that was a service that they can never swipe the card and swipe out and say it was a 9-to-5 thing, because they constantly gave us that. And on top of that, however Prince has protected his life and his image in the public for us to not be, tainted about who he is and what he's done. He comes from the era of that. So understand this new era that we in of, I'm going to show you everything about my life and this, that, and the third. The Princes, the Luther Vandross, and these people, they didn't do those things. You know what I'm saying? Luther Vandross died and we still don't know if he was gay or straight. Some people, I feel like I know, but some people don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Understand the difference in between those artists and musicians of those times. It was different. People cared about what kind of influence that, they left upon their fans and the people who loved them for what they loved them for.
That's
so
right.
We need to get back to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Get back to it, like you heard Zeno say. Make sure, if you're out there watching, that you check out our radio station at eventlevel.com/trap, because, we play all of the best independent music out there. You're going to get a treat if you've never listened to Trap House Rocks Radio. Eventlevel.com/trap. Make sure that you subscribe to the Indie Republic YouTube channel. Follow I Am Z Nuff with 2 F's, Starr with 2 R's everywhere online, and follow Miss LB Management. Or Miss LB Goes Hard on the Ground. You will find me. We're going to wrap this up, this exclusive today. We make sure that we put out different podcasts for you each week, maybe interviewing guests or just having a good time here in the trap. So make sure you keep up to date with us, because we're going to put more and more content out there for you. Rest in peace to just a legend. That's all I'm going to call Prince.
Facts.
You know?
You know, and we wear this purple, and anytime you've probably ever seen me with purple is because of that. I've been wearing purple since then. You
Go
know what I
look
mean?
at the other podcast.
Straight.
I don't wear purple. Prince.
Straight.
We love Prince. Purple.
Straight.
Up in the trap house. So we're going to get up out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
Never meant to cause you any pain. Hey.
Facts. I love you, Prince. I love you. We still out here banging forever. Trap House, y'all stay tuned. Me and Miss LB will never let you go.